Alright everyone, welcome back to my channel, Baseball Talk with Nick Morgan. So today we are voting for the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. This is the starter selection that we are going to be doing today, filling out and submitting. And I'm really excited because the All-Star Game is just in about a week and a half, I think. July 8th should be the All-Star Game. If not the All-Star Game, it's definitely the Home Run Derby. Either way, I hope to be streaming at least one of the events. Definitely making recap videos on both of them. And yeah, here we go, let's get started. So before we actually vote, I do want to say that the starter selection is brand new to Major League Baseball in 2019. Earlier this month and last month, there was the section of voting, or the interim of voting, like always. You know, there's a bunch of names on a list for each position in the American League and National League. You pick one, the one with the most votes goes to the All-Star Game. It's pretty simple. This year, they did the exact same thing, but they added the starters election, which is what this is called. And they took the top three guys, or the top three vote leaders from each position, top 9 for each outfield position, and threw them into one ballot. The one who gets the most votes here will be the starter. And the other two guys aren't guaranteed a spot in the All-Star Game, which is actually why, if you really want to see someone make it, you have to hope that they get first, and you have to vote as much as possible for them to pull that off. So, yeah, so I'm going to be filling out the All-Star ballot for the starter selection. I hope to do two, the one that deserves it most, or the players that deserve it most, and then my favorite players. So with that being said, we're gonna finally start voting, and at first base for the American League, you have CJ Cron, Carlos Santana, and Luke Voit. Now, CJ Cron and Carlos Santana have a 280 and 290 average. All three first basemen in the American League have 17 home runs, 18 home runs, and 17 home runs, very similar numbers. Santana's the only one with 18. He has 48 RBIs, much like Luke Voit. CJ Cron has 51, and the OPSs are also very similar. 877 for CJ Cron, 875 with Luke Voit, but 957 for Carlos Santana. So I think at this point, even though he has 3 less RBIs, we're going to go for Carlos Santana. And this is the ballot that actually, for the players that deserve it most, and not just my favorite players. So these are the guys that deserve it. So Carlos Santana, I think, is definitely one that should go ahead and get a vote here for me. So I'm going to give it to him over CJ Cron and Luke Voit, though all three are having great seasons and got a lot of votes. In the National League, it's pretty simple. I mean, Josh Bell is probably going to be the guy I go for. A 311 average. Actually, Freddie Freeman also has a 311 average with 21 home runs. Josh Bell has 20. He has 66 RBIs. Freeman has 61. Josh Bell has 1.013 OPS. Freeman has a .991. And then Anthony Rizzo is your third guy here with a 273 average, 19 home runs, 55 RBIs, and a .914 OPS. So his numbers, though very good, are a little underwhelming compared to these other two guys. But I think I have to give it to Josh Bell. This will be his first time in the All-Star Game, and the guy's been on a complete tear this year. I really am excited to see what he can do. I'm voting for Josh Bell easily. Now, second base, there's no competition here. It's going to be Tommy La Stella. I mean, I know he has the second best average at 300, DJ LeMahieu hitting 333, but you have to give it to Tommy La Stella. 16 home runs, 44 RBIs, a .862 OPS. This guy, compared to the other two, Jose Altuve and DJ LeMahieu, just has really great numbers. Home runs, he has the most, 16. RBIs, he has the second most with 44. Only DJ LeMahieu has more with 52. But a .862 OPS, which actually also isn't even the best out of second baseman here in the American League, but you have to give it to Tommy La Stella, especially being a Los Angeles Angel. You know, that team hasn't been the most productive. They haven't won the most games this season, but Tommy La Stella easily having the season of his career right now, the highlight season, if he were to, for whatever reason, retire after 2019. So Tommy La Stella's over there, second base for us in the AL. NL, if we're looking at it here, Ozzie Albies, Ketel Marte, Mike Moustakas, those are your three guys. I voted for Mike Moustakas, I do believe, when I voted the first time. I think I do have to go with Ketel Marte, a 314 average, much better than 285 and 280 for Albies and Moustakas respectively. 20 home runs, which is the second most. Only Moustakas has more with 22. 51 RBIs, leads second baseman here, and a .947 OPS also leads out of the other two contestants in the National League for second base. So Ketel Marte is going to be our second baseman in the National League. I think he deserves it the most. And if we look at third base, now Hunter Dozier easily puts out the best average and the best OPS here. And 13 home runs is really good. 42 RBIs, also very good. Only Bregman has more in both categories. 22 home runs, 52 RBIs. But I gotta go Hunter Dozier. I think Bregman's gonna get a lot of votes as he deserves. But Dozier has a really great average. His OPS is very good. Even if he's not hitting the most home runs and isn't bringing in the most guys, you also have to take into account here that the Royals don't have the best team average. They're not as good compared to the Astros, so Bregman might have more opportunities to bring in runs, and he might have a little more power than Hunter Dozier does. So I'm going Hunter Dozier at third. National League, you have Nolan Arenado, Chris Bryant, Josh Donaldson. Looking at numbers here, Nolan Arenado, simple case. I'm not even going to go any further. At shortstop, Carlos Correa, Jorge Polanco, Gleyber Torres. Much like the National League third baseman, Jorge Polanco, without a doubt, 326 average, 11 home runs, 39 RBIs, and a .923 OPS. Gleyber Torres only has more home runs and RBIs. Torres has 19 and 46, Polanco 11 and 39. But Correa has 11 and 35, so I'm going Polanco without a doubt. And in the NL, you have Trevor Story, Dansby Swanson, and Javier Baez. I'm looking here. I think I'm just going to go Javier Baez, though Story does have a better average as 294. He has less home runs with 17. And actually, if I look at this here, 48 RBIs is 4 less than Javier Baez's 52. OPS is a little better with a .907 compared to Javi's .879. But I'm going to go to the Chicago Cubs shortstop for that vote. Catching, Gary Sanchez, James McCann, or Robinson Chirinos. Chirinos received the most votes out of the three, which is kind of surprising. It wasn't Gary Sanchez. Gary Sanchez does have the second best average. James McCann hitting 326. Only 7 home runs, 23 RBIs, though. I'm going to go Gary Sanchez, 23 home runs, one of the best in the American League. 52 RBIs, .951 OPS. He leads in everything but average, so I gotta go with my guy, Gary Sanchez. It's actually the first Yankee I'm voting for in this deserve ballot that I'm filling out here. Going to the flip side of things in the NL, Wilson Contreras, Yasmani Grandal, Brian McCann. Grandal has 2 more home runs than Wilson Contreras and 1 less RBI, but Wilson has the best average and best OPS. I'm looking at numbers here. It's going to be the Cubs catcher. In the outfield, we need 3. Now, I'm not going to give to Aaron Judge. Michael Brantley definitely deserves it, hitting 318, 11 home runs, 43 RBIs, .882 OPS. I'm not going to read off everyone's numbers. Josh Reddick, do I want to vote for 2 Astros, though? Competing against my Yankees, I'm not sure. And George Springer, honestly, the outfield for the Astros is really good average-wise and stuff. Mike Trout, I have to vote for. And then we're going to go with, I think, Austin Meadows for our last vote. Hitting 300, 12 home runs, 41 RBIs. I'm pretty sure I voted for him as well in the first vote here. So now if we go to the NL, Cody Bellinger hitting 353. I have to give it to him. Christian Yelich easily deserves it as well. And I think my last guy's actually going to be Charlie Blackmon, hitting 329, 18 home runs, 49 RBIs, and a 1.008 OPS, which is crazy. And the designated hitter, you have Nelson Cruz, JD Martinez, and Hunter Pence in the AL. AL is the only position, or the only league with the DH position. So we only have to choose one guy here. And I think I'm going to go with Hunter Pence. 294 average, 15 home runs, 48 RBIs, .962 OPS. The other guy I'm really thinking about here is JD Martinez. I'm heavily considering him as well. 285, 16 home runs, 42 RBIs, .880 OPS. But I have to give it to Hunter Pence. Just better numbers for the most part. Actually, everywhere but home runs, better numbers. So yeah, I definitely have to go Hunter Pence. So I'm going to go ahead and submit this and then get back to you guys with my favorite player votes. So here we go. Luke Voigt at first base. He's a Yankee compared to Carlos Santana, Cedric Crone. Obviously, he's my favorite player. In the National League, Josh Bell, Freeman, Rizzo. I'm going to go Anthony Rizzo. When I'm not a fan of the Yankees, Mets, or Blue Jays, I like the Cubs, so we'll go with him. DJ LeMahieu, of course, Yankees. Ozzie Albies, Ketel Marte, Mike Moustakas. I'm going to go with Mike Moustakas here, Big Moose. Gio Urshela at third. It's going to be it's going to be Yankee heavy in the AL because favorite team, so favorite players, obviously. Josh Donaldson at third base in the National League. My favorite not Yankee player right now. Gleyber Torres, again, Yankee. Not really a big debate there. Javier Baez, for my favorite for the National League, second baseman on my fantasy team. Very good player, again, Cubs. So we're going to see a lot of the same teams here, which is fine because this is a favorite player draft. So, not draft, vote. So it's not really like they necessarily deserve it more than other players. Gary Sanchez in the AL for catching. We'll go with Wilson Contreras again here too. And the outfield, Aaron Judge. We're gonna go with Let's say I need 2 more. Mike Trout, my guy Brett Gardner didn't make it, which sucks, but that's okay. I would vote for him if I could. And Joey Gallo. In the National League, probably Acuna Jr. Big fan of him. Love using him in MLB The Show. 19. Cody Bellinger. And we'll go Christian Yelich. And then DH, I would have picked Shohei Ohtani, but I do like Jaden Martinez. Also my fantasy team, also like using him in MLB The Show. So that was very quick, but that's the ballot right there. So in first base, AL, NL, you have Voit and Rizzo. Second base, LeMahieu and Mike Moustakas. Third base, Gio Urshela, Josh Donaldson. Shortstop, Torres and Baez. Catching, you have Gary Sanchez, Wilson Contreras. In the outfield for the AL, Joey Gallo, Aaron Judge, Mike Trout. National League, Ronald Acuna Jr., I was going to say Ozzy Albies, Ronald Acuna Jr., Cody Bellinger, Christian Yelich, and then your DH is going to be JD Martinez. So guys, if you do want to vote for your favorite players using the Stutters election, you do have to do it by Thursday, June 27th. It actually closes a day after it comes out. I'm pre-recording this video, so right now it is the day this ballot was released, Wednesday, June 26th. There's only, I think it's open for 28 hours, so you really have to make sure you go ahead and vote as soon as you possibly can. It closes 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, June 27th, 2019. So again, go vote, especially if you guys want to see your favorite players here. In the All-Star game in Cleveland, July 8th, or in that general time zone. So guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Peace.